What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Let me give some respect to a lady that I have been seeing, a beautiful lady in the city of Dalton. If you were to see her there, tell her that O'Shea loves her. A sister by the name of Tammie Brown. I really like Tammie Brown. Okay, she reminds me of somebody that I go to church with, back home. And I believe that she is a person that has the energy for building the community. And I can sense the frustration on her face, what's going on with the mayor. I know that she was a newly endorsed trustee, so she might not have been there as long as Tiffany Henyard, but she's tired. At a point, she didn't really know what to do. She made an iconic call out to get help for the city of Dolton. Here is what she said.
I'm in agreement. Just listening to a conversation today where a vendor called Trustee Belcher, when they're seeking $14,000, $13,000, $17,000, this is little money. What about the big money that we haven't paid? There are some vendors out there that we owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to, that we're not paying. We got people calling us for $14,000. We got people calling us for the flashing stop signs. So I guess they'll be taken out of the ground maybe next month if they don't get their $17,000. These are little bitty things that people are calling us with, but they did the work. They need to be compensated. These people provided services to the village and they're not getting paid. When we talk about months, 9 months ago, 7 months ago, 6 months ago, people are not being paid. So if you're not paying the bills, then what are you paying? And these bills were approved by the board months ago. I just look at it as this, and you know, this is me saying this. If you're not paying the bills, then maybe you're making payroll. If you can't make payroll, then you'll pay the bills. So it's something here, the reason why we're not paying bills, because we got to make payroll. Let's come to a point where it says, hey, the bag is empty, guys. The bag is empty. The 6.9 million been coming for 8 months, and it still hasn't gotten here yet. The bag is empty. When we can't pay $14,000, the bag is empty, guys. And she said before, and I would say, my granddad used to say, we're in a mighty bad way here. And when a person don't show you the money, it's a problem. It's a problem for all of us when we can't see where our tax dollars, when we can't see them and see how they're being spent. That's a problem. We got a big problem here. And definitely, you know, everybody's on social media, the news. Somebody has to step in. And as Brittany said, who's going to save us? Somebody has to save Dalton. You see the residents out here monthly. You see the trustees. We're here. We're begging for someone to come out here and save Dalton. You know, taxes going up. She just had a referendum, what to raise your taxes. Who wants to keep putting money in a bag that you say you got, the bag is full? You're steady asking for our dollars, but you're not spending them the right way that it should be spent on this village. Again, somebody come here and hashtag save Dalton. Save Dalton. We're in a bad way.
Now, after which, Sister Tammie Brown, once she found out that the FBI had given a subpoena to the village of Dalton, they asked her what she felt, and she said this.
So, Trustee, we got copies of the subpoenas. Would you like to look at them?
Absolutely.
We show the subpoenas to Dalton Trustee Tammie Brown, delivered by 4 FBI agents at Dalton Village Hall Friday afternoon. They're directed to the Village of Dalton's custodian of records, a subpoena to testify before a grand jury. And that's our first confirmation that a federal grand jury has been impaneled to investigate allegations of corruption in Dalton.
Oh my God. Someone has heard our cry. Finally, someone has heard the residents of Dalton, and they're actually going to do something about it now.
Repeating the same thing, come and save Dalton. Now we have a myriad of people who are concerned, obviously with our own incentivization for it. You have Jedediah Brown, who's concerned. YouTubers like us, I've made multiple videos. Of course, you know, it gets views, but we are definitely concerned. People have driven there Like, shout out to the late night crew. This is a guy who's driven from Oklahoma to hang out in Dolton. I have now friends in Dolton. Like, I want to go to Dolton now because I'm so tied to what's going on in the city. I met a good brother by the name of Edward Steve. Honorable man. I hope to one day be half the man that he is. However, I gotta ask this sister, what do you mean come and save Dolton? And I'm not implicating her in this because I don't think she was a part of that ticket. When a lot of you guys were responsible for bringing her there in the first place. Now we gotta talk about the low standards of Black America. This is something that we don't like talking about. This is something that Democratic cities struggle with. Democratic cities, especially small ones or even Black ones, I noticed there is not a lot of economic planning or economic development to help the city do anything outside of begging the state budget for more money, not looking to do things the right way. And this is Dolton. Dolton public policy and their political leaders have been inept, if you want to think about it. When you look at it, it's a lot of bad taste in people's mouths. It's a joke. That was before Tiffany Henyard. That's when Tiffany Henyard is there. And if I was a betting guy, Las Vegas betting wages, if we could bet on what will happen after Tiffany Henyard, I would bet it's going to be the same or a little worse, but definitely still a joke. I would bet that. I would have to bet it because it's the same trustee board that ran with her that will probably be there, and the same decision making that caused a Tiffany Henyard to fall through the cracks. I'm gonna bet that that's gonna happen again. That mistake will happen again somehow. Maybe not in that, but again, that decision making and process thinking, that's the problem of Democratic Black America. That's gonna happen again. It might not be as bad as it is now, but it might be still terrible. Like, you're owing the city of Chicago $8 million and then the city not developing because of bad leadership or police corruption or just things like that. So when you say, come and save Dolton, the FBI, who we're talking about is white people, come and save Dolton, what you're saying is, we don't know what we're doing. That's what you're really saying. I hope you understand that. Listen, save us from ourselves, Mr. White people. Then please give it back to us so we can do what? Repeat the process is what you're really saying. I know you guys are not gonna like what I'm talking about, but that's what it looks like, okay? So then you're giving credence to all of the stereotypes, not you personally, but I'm just saying this is what it looks like. Well, these blacks cannot govern themselves. Like, look at what they do. Like, when we talk about racism in white America and then we go down this road, that's what we tell people. We tell them, you know what? We're not functional. We don't know what we're doing. Same thing happened in East Point, Michigan, East St. Louis, Illinois, okay? City of Memphis, look at what's going on in Chicago. Black leadership comes with a certain level of being apathetic, being inept. And the only way that we can really do something is we need white folks to come in and help us. Otherwise, we're gonna destroy it ourselves. So then when is the next time that they're gonna come back? And then we're not taking the ownership of ourselves, certain levels of victim mentalities. Literally, I know Dalton is like 98, 99% Democratic. There is your problem there, probably. I mean, you're talking about a person that is a registered Republican. I'm not saying Republicans will save everything because they won't, right? But what is the community doing to hold itself to a higher quality of execution? I don't think you're gonna see that. And so Mr. Edward Steve mentioned that all the trustees, if not most, all of them are single mothers. The mayor is a single mother, which is interesting because I saw mostly women being attacked in these hearings. And I feel like maybe a lot of the men in Dalton want to say something about this and feel like they cannot because of what people may say. And where are the men in Dalton at? Like, it seems like, I'm not in the city, but is Dalton a place where men have just given up being there? I'm not sure. I don't know. But all I can say is the time is winding down, not only for Tiffany Henyard, but the time will be winding down for the others. And now, once she gets out of there, what will you say then? What would be the excuse then? What would be the call to action at that point? And then that's something that has to be discussed because everybody's watching now in America. Dalton will never be the same after this. It will be heavily watched and scrutinized across the world. Every board meeting, people will be there. Maybe not as much as before, but everybody will know Dalton now. Dalton will never be the same. So anything that you do that people think is silly is gonna be scrutinized. So then what happens then? Every little thing that is done will be scrutinized now. So who is the accountability gonna be to? And again, I don't know if the residents have no expectations for what they should be getting from their public service or government, but it looks bad because Tiffany Henyard had so much information on her that she should have never been made mayor. As a trustee, she ran up a bill of $36,000 in payments received from the city of Dalton. Foreclosed the Section 8 house, had mold in there. This was the person that did this as a trustee. As a trustee, she did this. You all knew about this. So then we say, come and save Dalton. So who are we saving Dalton from? Does Dalton need to be saved from all of those people involved? I probably think that's what the case is. It's not just Tiffany Henyard that Dalton needs to be saved from if that was the case. Because if I was the person and you knew about this that happened and you ran with her, I would want you to also resign. I would want you to. Because how can the blind lead the blind? And where's the accountability for that? Because there was so much information on this lady that was public knowledge. She was a trustee for 8 years. She haven't changed. She was doing this kind of mismanagement and stuff at that time. She couldn't even pay a $1,000 check to South Suburban College, the college in Thornton Township. You mean you didn't know that she was having these problems? How could you guys not know? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Trustee Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Reach your follow, you discredit bell. We're out.